So then, wait. In that sense, though, then why did you put Sark there?
Mainly due to the fact that what they have done since he's gotten there to being in the playoff last year, and not only that, but being able to win games without your starting quarterback, regardless of the conference. I put him there mainly due to the fact because I didn't, at the time that I sent you the list, I didn't want to have the fight with you about Dabo that we're actually going to have, that I think is actually a really good debate on him. But Dan Lanning doesn't have a playoff experience. If you're going to look at what Oregon was under Mario versus what they are right now, they've actually taken a step back. So we'll talk on Dan. So when I looked at Steve Sarkisian, I'm like, well, what coaches have won national titles and actually made the playoff? Well, there they are, Joe. Like, those are the dudes. And so when push came to shove, the playoff and recency, meaning last year, beat out Dabo for me, which we'll have the conversation on Dabo in a moment. That is why I put Sark there, because I just don't know, Joe, if they – I'm worried about Sark too, because they're coming into the SEC. They have a favorable schedule, but they also have Georgia in there. And I'm telling you, when you're in this conference, you have a very tough track record. So they might not make the playoff. Like, their floor is 9-3 because Quinn Ewers is going to get hurt, and you're going to have to go to Arch. And I don't know if Arch is ready for the SEC. So those are just a lot of things that go in my brain for Sark.
So I'm with you on this, and it's kind of weird that we're even talking about this because he's on yours, but it doesn't sound like you're super sold on him.
Not at all.
I think Steve Sarkisian's season last year has significantly boosted his stock as a head coach. I think he's good enough to be in the top 10. I think he's established himself enough with the way that he has transformed a program that was historically struggling. They were in a deep, deep pit. They were not getting out of the hole that was dug by them by multiple head coaches before him. It was a massive undertaking to turn them into a competitive team. More importantly, to put them in a position to potentially succeed early on in the SEC. They're in really, really good positioning. I'm not saying that they will succeed, but they're in the best possible situation for them to hit the ground running. They're physical up front on both sides of the football. They've got great receivers. They've got a lineage of quarterbacks that should work out, that will be strong, from Ewers to then Arch Manning. All of those things look great, and we know that from just an offensive mind perspective, he's one of the most brilliant offensive minds in the game of college football. Where I get a little careful, like you're talking about here, there's only one real year of major success.
And it's why I almost put Lane Kiffin over.
I wouldn't put Lane. Well, so this is why I didn't put Lane. Wait.
How do you weigh? And this was the debate we were having off air. How do you weigh what Lane has done in the last 3 years versus you just saying that, look, Sark only had one good year. And Lane, go ahead.
Look, so what I was going to say is that I have Sark and Lane right around the same exact spot for one another, because the accomplishment and the progression and the development of the program and the positioning of where they are for the future is tremendous. But I can't put a guy in the top 5 that their lows as head coaches, and they've been head coaches for very long times at multiple schools, is horribly low. They've been fired before for serious not lack of control, but just serious program issues, not being in the right position to win or to succeed. So then being fired, I have concerns.
If you're gonna go back 20 years of what they did at other schools, then if you're gonna go that far back,
that's not what I'm saying.
It's exactly what you're saying, that they had their low 20 years ago was being fired.
What I was trying to say with that is, if the shit hits the fan and things go horribly wrong, it could go horribly wrong. That's all I'm trying to say. If things don't go well, I'm worried that either one of them can't pick up the pieces and can't put themselves back in a strong position.
Well, you've never seen Dan Lanning, so let's get to this.
BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.